We are on the front lines of a very important battle. And it's important that we aren't silenced, that we aren't put down. This is not a time to bend our heads in despair or out of fear that we may be next, because if we do not speak up, if we do not step out, it will be your city that is next.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey warning other mayors across America that their city could soon face an ICE, quote, invasion. This as nationwide anti-ICE protesters are expected later today around the country. House Majority Whip and Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer joins us now. Great to see you this morning, Congressman. So, it really is an amazing situation that people like Jacob Frey have created, where you have these ICE agents going into basically a war zone that people like Jacob Frey have created, and leaves the ICE agents who are carrying out what they are constitutionally required to do in a pretty impossible situation.
You're right, Charlie. Good morning. This is all they're trying to do is enforce the actual letter of the law. That's it. I wish Small Fry or Mayor Frey would actually recognize the invasion is an invasion of rapists, murderers, and pedophiles who are here illegally in the first place. The very people that Donald J. Trump said he was going to remove from our country that caused damage and injury, Lake and Riley, didn't have to happen, Charlie. This type of rhetoric, and by the way, this is coming to your city next? No, it's not, because most cities are cooperating with law enforcement. It's a very simple formula, Charlie. If the local law enforcement, when they collect one of these rapists, murderers, pedophiles who's here illegally, if they would notify ICE so ICE could retrieve them and process them federally and deport them, guess what? All of this would go away overnight.
Here is what Tom Homan said yesterday about just that.
If we get these agreements in place, that means less agents on the street. This is common sense cooperation that allows us to draw down on the number of people we have here. Yes, I said it, draw down. The drawdown is going to happen based on these agreements, but the drawdown can happen even more if the hateful rhetoric and the impediment and interference will stop.
Do you think that people like Frey and Tim Walz will actually agree to some sensible course going forward?
Well, actions speak louder than words, Charlie, and you'll remember they had a great phone call with President Trump. Each one of them had a great phone call. It was described as good. The tone was right. Tom Homan, who's the right guy at the right time, I mean, he's shown up and he's brought strength and resolve to this situation and the right tone. Look, they had these great calls, and all of a sudden, Jacob Frey the next day starts speaking out again in blazing rhetoric that is all about obstructing and fighting. I mean, look, Tim Walz has sounded like Jefferson Davis seceding from the Union, and Jacob Frey now sounds like he's giving his declaration of war speech. This is what is causing the problem, Charlie. And again, actions speak louder than words. If we can get these agreements, this will settle down quickly.
Yeah, and of course, it's not just fringe Democrats like Frey and Walz that are talking about this. You've got Democrats, your colleagues in the House of Representatives, talking about shutting down the government, a government shutdown over the weekend, in order to go after and defund, partially at least, defund ICE. This is Hakeem Jeffries talking about the shutdown.
Well, we want to avoid a government shutdown, but it's necessary to ensure that the Department of Homeland Security dramatically changes the way in which it has been conducting itself. Taxpayer dollars should be used to address the affordability crisis.
Are you going to encourage your members to be on board with that? Are you and Senator Schumer on the same page here today?
Well, we have to evaluate what emerges from the Senate, and we'll do that on the merits.
I see no difference between what he's saying there and what Walz and Frey are saying back in Minneapolis.
Charlie, I couldn't agree with you more. First off, Hakeem Jeffries and his party did not listen and haven't learned from the last election. They still are doubling down on things that the American public completely disagrees with. In this case, what he's failing to recognize is that the vast majority of Americans still want the worst of the worst located, restrained, taken in, and deported, sent out of this country. It's an overwhelming number of Americans, Charlie. It's Republicans, Democrats, and others. The disagreement right now is the way it is being done. That's a valid disagreement to have, but in order to resolve it, people like Tom Homan and the president are making it very clear you got to cooperate with federal law enforcement, which you've been doing for years, by the way, Charlie. Do you know we've had ICE in Minnesota for years? The ICE office in St. Paul, Minnesota, actually services Minnesota, the Dakotas, Nebraska, and Iowa. This is nothing new if they would just go back to actually supporting the law and, frankly, protecting their citizens against these illegal murderers, rapists, and pedophiles. This would all settle down overnight. It's almost like these guys are going back to another play on defund the police, Charlie.
Yeah, it certainly does seem to be an extension of that. Congressman Tom Emmer, thank you so much.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.